Wow, people, can you believe it's been a year since my last video? Alright, hi, welcome to what is probably going to be the smallest video I've ever made covering a single game. I bought this game for like $2.50 2 or so years ago, I don't know. There was this big sale for games from Asia that I really thought I took some sort of screenshot or recording of at some point, but apparently didn't, and I bought this game, then seemingly lost all recollection of ever purchasing it. I explicitly told myself that I'd cover it as a standalone video without knowing that it's kind of 7 minutes long, but roughly an hour in actuality if you factor in all the failed attempts. So right off the bat, I know you might not be expecting this, but this is an odd game. It's filled with a bunch of incredibly Japan-specific cultural references, none of the designs at all seem to make sense, and the level design is so barren, the only prop in the entire game that isn't crediting someone that contributed to it is literally a sign telling you which direction to go to. It's actually quite reminiscent of a game I remember playing a while ago called Post Void, which I'm showing store page footage from because I played it on a family member's account and don't actually own now despite it being $3 because I'm a cheap bastard. This game kind of feels like, okay, let's do something a little like that, but with less intricate visuals and less tight gameplay and a few very questionable design choices. Now, before we get any further, I want to say that I like this game. Like, I legitimately enjoy it. I'm not trying to discredit it or anything, but it's also kind of a mess. So, kind of like Post Void, it has a mechanic where your health is constantly draining and you need to kill enemies to regain it and random upgrades to choose from after each level. That's kind of where the similarities end as well, despite being some of the game's most defining features. There are some interesting aspects about this though, like the odd theming and character designs, the reactive music, the ability to blast enemies away with right click, and the fact that it's a 3D game made entirely in Game Maker for some unknown reason. It has the story told in black and white images that look like they were drawn in paint.net, but the humor, which is kind of listed as a major component of the game on the store page, is just kind of small in amount. It's really just odd. I played it at first and I thought, yeah, this isn't great, but then by the third run I was really getting into it. You know, the fixed levels mean you're getting faster and faster, and there's this incredibly satisfying loop of repetition and eventual mastery, but that's it. I beat it in 10 or so tries because the balancing is a complete mess. Some weapons are kind of terrible in general, while others practically get you to win instantly. The upgrades aren't terribly interesting, and there are a small amount of them, but god, it ended up being really fun in a really odd way. Yeah, the enemies are incredibly boring. You have the starting ones that do nothing, the pig guys that shoot at you, the blue pig guys that shoot at you but have more health, the pink things that run at you, and then the floating dismembered people that expel gas at you, which seems to block all your bullets in a manner that feels like it was probably unintentional. There are boss fights, but all of them consist of them shooting at you rapidly with a single attack as you run around in circles. It's just strange. It feels like the start of something absolutely fantastic just kind of dropped at a certain point. Do I really blame them? No, not really. I mean, I don't think Game Maker is meant for this kind of stuff at all. But with expanded mechanics, you know, it could be something really, really good. Now, I know I'm just fantasizing here, but I feel like there are two different directions the game could be taken into. The first is a speedrunning and repetition leading experience, kind of akin to Neon White. You already have the fixed levels and enemies, you have the simplistic enemy designs and consistent movement, and you have leaderboards. Now, obviously, this would need more complex level design that goes beyond what Game Maker seems to support, because as it stands, running into walls fast enough gets you to fly through them and get stuck, while the game also suffers from stuttering about halfway through. If you refine it down to a solid formula and design some good levels, the end result is a miniature game that focuses on the thrill of seeking perfection and just getting into the zone of things. Now, the second thing that they could do is make this a roguelike type ordeal. You know, with more enemy types, more intricate levels and theming. I mean, for God's sake, the game takes place in hell, but it's barely descript at all. An expanded weapon selection. Hell, make the left-hand blast attack core mechanic of the game. Give it different effects with their own upgrades and usages. Make the balancing of the right-hand weapon and the secondary ability the crux of the moment-to-moment gameplay. Slap in some more chunky effects and punchy sounds, and you've got an A-grade dopamine generator on your hands right there. It looks like the creator's gone on to make other things, but will they ever revisit this game's world of demons, acid puddles, 1,000-year-olds that look like children piloting mech suits, or its protagonist Mary and her 2 lines of dialogue in the entire game? I don't know. Probably not. I think it'd be neat, but I don't know how many other people would care, and I don't blame them for going on to do other things. There are still patches, kind of. The game has a beta branch that I tried out that seems to make practically no changes at all. There are mentions of achievements somewhere that I couldn't find in-game. There's a fan-made Ukrainian translation, an apology for not being able to fix a bug alongside a request for players to delete their save data, and loot drawings posted to promote other anime FPS games from people whose DeviantArt account tags I'd probably want to stay away from, or National Bunny Girl Day in Japan. Side note, what? Is this an actual holiday? I looked up holidays on August 2nd here and I got fucking National Mustard Day. Like, that's not fair. Why do they get all the cool holidays over there? Are we gonna get that too, or are we gonna need to fight for equality in the form of a National Bunny Boy Day as well before we get that over here?